and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out.
Have you heard about Dinesh D'Souza's new movie? It's based on his book by the same name, Vindicating Trump. This movie is an examination of the real reasons that the liberal left hates Donald Trump. The American government's authoritarian regime is afraid that Trump will dethrone them yet again. Vindicating Trump shows Donald Trump as the dominant wartime general that he is, and shows that we need his leadership now more than ever. Don't miss Dinesh D'Souza's powerful defense of Trump, Vindicating Trump, in theaters nationwide starting Friday, September 27th. Make your plans now. Get your tickets online at vindicatingtrump.com. That's vindicatingtrump.com. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us right here on The Right View. Tonight, this is a really fun show. I'm really excited about this. We're joined by former Democrat campaign fundraiser, Evan Barker. Evan, welcome to the show. I said to you just before we got on, like, on what planet would you have ever imagined that you would be here doing an interview with Lara Trump? But it's very cool, and I love that you're here, and I want to hear your story. You wrote an op-ed in Newsweek just last week pointing out your realization that the Democrat Party has changed. So tell us all about it. And again, thank you for being here. I think it's really awesome.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I went to the DNC last month, and I have worked, as you stated, in Democratic politics for a very long time. I actually started when I was in high school. I interned for Barack Obama's campaign. I was even an alternate delegate for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I later got involved in campaign fundraising. I did some fundraising for US Senate and House candidates, and as well as organizations and PACs and stuff like that. And for the last couple of years, I've slowly just become more and more disenchanted with the Democratic Party. I am originally from Kansas City, Missouri area. A lot of people in my family are union members or were formerly union members. You're construction workers. I'm actually a first generation college graduate.
Wow, congrats. That's great.
Thank you. And so, you know, a lot of my family members used to vote Democrat, and some of them even, actually the majority of them, voted for Barack Obama. And then when your father-in-law came along, they switched to Donald Trump. And for a long time, I couldn't exactly figure out why. I just kind of avoided these topics at Christmas and Thanksgiving. And, you know, after working in campaign fundraising, and, you know, I'm just like this normal person from the middle of the country, and then entering these circles and these rooms with these donors, you know, and just seeing the way that they speak and the way that they spoke to me, the things that they said when they found out that I was from the Midwest.
Oh, wow. What did you hear?
I would hear things like, wow, you're from Kansas? Like, you don't look like somebody who's from Kansas. You don't dress like somebody who's from Kansas. Just incredibly, like, patronizing, condescending.
Very judgy. Okay.
Very judgmental. Yeah. You know, I've literally, and I'm trying not to curse, but as I wrote,
it's all right. Let it out, girl. You've been waiting.
As I wrote in my op-ed, I've literally had I've had people say things like, "Oh, you're from Dumbfuckistan," the people that got Donald Trump elected. Like, they're all really stupid and racist. Wow. And so these are the things, you know, and I think of my grandmother. My grandmother is going to be 87 years old in a few days. Aww. And she is somebody who voted for Obama, and she loves your father-in-law. She loves him. And, you know, she has had to work very, very hard her whole life. She's been, you know, she's from a very blue collar background. And right now she's very much struggling. She lives on her Social Security check. And the inflation has absolutely been killing her. It's been so very difficult on her. You know, she has to go to like 3 different grocery stores in one day just to be able to get the same amount of food that she used to be able to buy just by going to like Walmart. You know, she has to basically find coupons and find ways to stretch her dollar because, you know, I think a lot of the argument from the Democrat side is just like, well, yeah, there's all this inflation, but the wages have gotten higher. Well, not for everybody. You know, there's like a whole group of people out there, like my grandmother, you know, who just feel forgotten.
Right.
And
Well, and I think for a lot of them, they maybe folks who, like yourself, have traditionally been Democrats may not really like Donald Trump, but I think a lot of people are like, well, wait a minute. I definitely had more money in my pocket and I was able to do these things when he was in office. And so I assume that that's probably one of the reasons your grandmother is a Trump fan. But I think for you, you know, you kind of said to me before we started this that like it's been a journey and it's very hard, I think, to I don't want to say realize that things that you believed were a lie, because I'm sure at one time they were true. But this is it really is a journey. I mean, for you, I what I understood is that you being at the DNC was kind of the moment that your eyes fully opened. Is that where like the donors were, or was there something specific that happened that bothered you and being able to cross this Rubicon, Evan, it feels like to really come over on the other side, especially right now, and say like, wait a minute, I don't know that this is the same party that I was, you know, supporting when I was in high school interning for Barack Obama. What happened at the DNC and how has this all been for you? And did you ever worry about the backlash? Because I'm sure you kind of thought about this for a long time. Coming out and saying the things you did is very upsetting, maybe to a lot of folks.
yeah. So back to the DNC. Yes, the DNC. So I've slowly become disenchanted. Truthfully, I was hoping to go to the DNC and feel re-inspired. When I initially signed up to volunteer, Joe Biden was still the nominee. And it was just such a whiplash and a whirlwind to then get there and have like a brand new nominee. And I was one of those people that was truly hoping that maybe there would be a contested convention. Like maybe
wow.
we would process where I guess I've always been an independent thinker, but there would be this process.
Maybe Evan, you mean the will of the people would be reflected in some manner? Yeah.
If democracy is on the ballot, as they all like to sit, right? And so that's kind of what I was hoping for and expecting. And then when I got there, it was just like everyone that I spoke to, it sounded like I was talking to just like MSNBC talking heads, you know, like they just were just saying the same things to each other. No one was questioning it. They were just going along with it. You know, the thing about the Democratic Party is that it's very much a party of groupthink. And, you know, there's no debate, there's no dissent in thought that's really accepted or allowed. Like if you go against the line, like you were automatically out.
Yeah.
And I do see like, and just this is just from an observer, because I haven't obviously worked in the Republican Party, but it seems like on the Republican side, you are like, there's just more like open internal disagreement, and that's more accepted. Just the mere fact that Donald Trump was able to become the nominee, you know, like an establishment candidate, like that would never happen. Obviously, on the Democratic side, like we saw what they did to Bernie Sanders. And so at the DNC, it was just the creepiness of the groupthink and everybody just kind of going along with Kamala's coronation and her anointment, and also just the elitism that was on display. You know, I was a volunteer there. I was able to go up into a suite for one of the days, and I just saw like people with like Louis Vuitton bags and like Gucci bags and just like nobody that like I think could ever even remotely have a conversation with someone like my grandma, you know, or that could even like understand her position. And, you know, there was this clip that circulated, I'm not sure if you saw it after the convention, where Chris Cuomo actually pointed out all of the the rings and rings of donor suites that start out at like 500,000 up to like $5 million that are like literally looking down on the people below.
Wow.
And I think that is what I saw. And I just realized, I'm like, this party is not going back to the party of my union family members. It's not a party that's going back to the working class. Like, there is no working class representation here, you know? And to be honest, like, I'm sure that this is all, like, I know how fundraising works, and I know that this is probably also an issue for the Republican Party as well. I do think that Democrats are bigger hypocrites about it. You know, like, they like to pretend to be the party of like the working people. But like, those aren't the people that call the shots at all. And so it was just sort of like a culmination of seeing these things up close and personal, coupled with all of my experiences of working behind the scenes in Democratic politics, and then thinking back to my family and how they're struggling right now.
Well, and your family is like, I think, a lot of people out there, and it's the reason I think that there was a big shift. And for whatever people say about Donald Trump, people really understood, like, okay, well, maybe this guy isn't the best politician, so to speak, which, by the way, my father-in-law hates to be called a politician, despite the fact he was president for 4 years. But he's saying the things that resonate with me, and he's talking like I talk, and he seems to understand what my family needs and what we're going through right now. And it's so fascinating that the rest of your family, generally speaking, kind of shifted with Donald Trump coming in the picture. And I think that happened for a lot of people. So do you now consider yourself independent, right? And I assume there have been some surprises that you have, you know, maybe things that happened to you, or realizations or feelings since you made this shift and this move to be independent. What has changed, and how do you feel now, having kind of come out of the Democrat Party and now announcing you're independent? Are you struggling to sleep at night? Have you heard of Sleep Cream? Sleep Cream is a revolutionary new product made of all natural ingredients and with pure CBD. You simply rub it on sensitive skin areas right before bed. You will feel relaxed in a matter of minutes, and you will get the best sleep you've had in years. I know I have. You may have heard all kinds of mixed messages about CBD, but Sleep Cream only uses pharmaceutical grade pure CBD crystals with 0 THC, and it's made right here in the USA. So if you want an all natural way to sleep better, you must try Sleep Cream. Best of all, it's guaranteed to work or your money back. No questions asked. Just try it for yourself, and with its 100% money back guarantee, you have nothing to lose except more sleepless nights. Go to sleepcream.com, that's sleep, CREME.com, and you can use code November24 at checkout to save $24 on your first order. If you're ready for the best sleep ever, go to sleepcream.com, that's sleep, CREME.com. You've asked and MyPillow listened. They're finally bringing you the most requested offer ever. Right now, you can get the queen size premium MyPillow for only $19.98. MyPillow is made with patented adjustable fill, and it adjusts to your exact individual needs, regardless of your sleep position. It helps keep your neck aligned and holds its shape all night long, so you get the best sleep of your life. But that's not all. Get their 6-piece kitchen or bath towel sets for only $25, the brand new mattress topper for as low as $69.98, and their famous MyPillow bed sheets for as low as $25, and so much more. Go to mypillow.com or call 800-624-3945 and use promo code Trump to get huge discounts on all MyPillow products, including the premium queen size MyPillow, only $19.98. That is the lowest price ever. Don't delay, order today and use promo code Trump.
I mean, honestly, I underestimated the backlash.
Wow.
Truly. You know, I have basically, you know, initially when I posted my video, I did get some messages from people that I knew in the progressive wing of the party that I'd worked with, you know, that were like, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just not brave enough to say it.
Wow, that's
You
so
know?
interesting. That's so interesting.
Several
Because I
messages.
wonder that, Evan. I wonder that all the time. Like, I actually wondered, and I want you to finish your thought, but I've wondered for a long time, how is it, like, if I were a Democrat voter, truly, And I saw what happened with this party, the way it really feels like they just pulled the rug right out from under Joe Biden. I mean, look, this guy probably needed some help a long time ago, but they just were like, you're done, you're out. And now we're plugging Kamala Harris in. And I wondered, like, how would I feel about that? I have to imagine there are a lot of people with whom you previously worked and people who consider themselves Democrats to this day who probably feel pretty disenfranchised by everything that's happened with this party.
And it just proves that the donors are in control. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to know who made that happen, right? I mean, it was the donors. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't like behind the scenes. So I don't want to.
We can read context clues, Evan, right? We can kind of figure that out a little bit.
Exactly. And so it just proves that they're really in control. And I think a lot of people on the progressive side secretly are very suspicious of somebody, you know, like Kamala Harris, who is backed by Goldman Sachs, who's backed by all these Fortune 500 CEOs. You know, how can she truly be the party or the candidate of working class people, you know, having all of that kind of support? Dick Cheney, you know, like,
yeah,
Democrats become,
interesting endorsement.
I mean, it drives people on the far left like insane. They're just not like as brave as me to be willing to say it, you know, out loud. So yeah, I actually really underestimated the backlash. At this point, I don't have any friends from no, I have friends that I have had.
I was gonna say I'll be your friend. We can hang out. That's fine.
Yeah. But I have friends from, you know, that I knew before politics. But as far as like people that I knew in politics, none of them are speaking to me. Even people that were like, a lot of people don't realize this about me. They think I'm really young, and I am. But I actually have a 2-year-old son. You know, people that, yeah, he's amazing. But people that went to my son's baby shower are like not talking to me anymore. You know, that were there when he was newborn.
If it makes you feel any better, Evan, I can sort of relate to some of that in a lot of ways. You know, it's hard, but I have actually been able to maintain relationships with some very select people who certainly disagree with me politically, but who were in my life for a very long time prior to politics. But then there are those who really get just so offended by, I guess, a different viewpoint, which is sad because that's sort of how this country was designed to be. And I'm happy to be friends with someone with whom I don't fully agree on everything. And I don't even know that any two people, quite frankly, fully agree and see the world the exact same way and our country the exact same way. But I'm sorry you've had to deal with that. I imagine, though, maybe the loss of the friendships, is it replaced in any way by some sort of like a weight that's been lifted off of you or some level of freedom that you now feel like you have?
Yeah, I feel free for the first time in a long time. I feel like I can actually say what I want to say. And it is
nice,
liberating, you know, to be away from all of that. So yeah, and I know that I'm gonna make new friends, you know.
Yeah.
Through this as well.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you.
Well, there you go. We can consider ourselves friends for sure after this. What is your goal now, though? What do you do? Because to be sort of, because I know a lot of people who are very entrenched in, you know, Republican fundraising, and that is a whole kind of orbit in and of itself. What do you do now? Like, what do you want to do now? What's your goal?
So I don't want to go back to fundraising because, like I said, I think that, you know, while the Democratic Party are bigger hypocrites about it, it's the system that is the problem. You know, it's like I really think we need to get big money out of politics. We need to get rid of super PACs. You know, there's some things that we can do to make it so that our system is more representative of just regular people. What I'd really like to do is maybe make a documentary. I've also dabbled in film a little bit. Like I'm a film editor. So I'd like to make a documentary potentially about campaign finance.
Oh, interesting.
And I think that the only documentaries that have been, I don't totally quote me anybody out there, but that have been made have only really critiqued donors on the right. And so I'd like to make a film that also showcases how it works on the left.
Interesting. I also think people would be very, very apt to maybe watch a documentary about your story and your journey through this, because I imagine there are a lot of people who feel very lost. like you found yourself to feel, there at the DNC. And I think, we always look for someone we can relate to and we can say, hey, like this person, I have the same feeling, or I think it could be powerful for people to hear your story and to, maybe get a little courage of their own, because it is very courageous what you did. It isn't easy to do those things. It's never easy to feel like you kind of go against the current or the grain, so to speak. And I'm happy you did that, because I'm glad you feel liberated, and I think it's a great thing to be able to do. And it's sad again, Evan, because I feel like our country again was designed for that, to feel the way that you feel right now. Like we shouldn't feel ashamed to come out and be honest about where we stand on things. That's just, that's what makes this country so great, and what really the marketplace of ideas, and to disagree and have conversations about those disagreements gives us strength as a country, I think. So, again, kudos to you for doing it. What's your family's response been? Because I imagine they're probably like, what took you so long?
They're supportive. They're very supportive. And actually, my mom has been one of those people that's actually been sort of like, besides me, a Democrat holdout. And I think, I don't want to speak for her, but I definitely know that this election, she's not voting for Kamala Harris.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
But, she was really, really affected by COVID, and, but yeah, mostly it's actually 100%. My family has been extremely positive and supportive. So I'm really, really grateful for that, because I know that some people that do this, that have a change of heart, they don't have their family support or their friendship or their friendships. So I'm really, really lucky that I have my family behind me.
Oh my gosh. And so since you're from Kansas City, is your family just a bunch of Chiefs fans?
They love the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Are you guys also Taylor Swift fans? I feel like they're going hand in hand these days.
I like Taylor Swift. I wasn't excited about her endorsement, obviously, but
I do like. So it's funny. I've never been like a huge Taylor Swift fan in terms of her music, but I'll give her credit. Like the new stuff she put out, I'm not mad about it. My kids like listening to it in the car. I got a 5 and 7-year-old, so I'm not going to hate on anybody. I agree with you. I don't love that endorsement. She may live to regret that, Evan, but time will tell. And we'll see what happens. I don't know how much sway that really has with a lot of people, to be honest with you. But if she felt the need to come out, what's your take? Yeah, what do you think it matters?
No, I think celebrity endorsements, I mean, maybe they mean something in like terms of fundraising, I remember when I would do fundraisers for celebrities, it was always more enticing to get donors on board and to raise money and stuff like that. But I think to just regular people that are like my, people in my family that are just trying to like be able to afford their groceries and fill up their gas tanks, I think to them it's like, well, what does somebody like Taylor Swift or Oprah Winfrey know about what it's like to be me right now?
Right.
Totally. Maybe they had humble beginnings to begin with, but like at this point, in today's world, under this economy, like they don't understand my reality or my experience. I will say Taylor has a song called Coming Clean or something, or Clean or something. And I have listened to that song so many times.
Oh, it's your reality. You're living it.
It's like, she's like, I'm finally clean in the song. And it's been like my theme song. I don't know if she would love that or not, but
she probably doesn't love that I complimented her music, but I'm just saying, look, whatever. There are a lot of people, actors or musicians who I like and I admire, and I think they do good work. And I'm okay saying that. Again, we got to get back to some kind of place where we can just all be human beings and we can all be Americans at the end of the day. And I hope we find ourselves back there. But Evan Barker, thanks for spending some time with us. Thank you for being willing to come on and talk with me. And you can consider me to be a new friend that you have gained in the entire process. And I'd love for you to go back and talk to like your high school self and see how you would have received that, or even like 5 years ago. So see how you would have received that. But very cool. We appreciate it very much. And good luck to you. Is there anything you're doing? Like, can people keep up with you somewhere?
Yeah, they can follow me on X. It's at Evan WCH. Follow me
Okay.
there.
All right. We'll follow you there. Well, Evan, thanks for joining us. And to everybody at home, as always, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow. And we'll see you back here next time for more of The Right View.
And I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out.
Nothing is worse than being on a phone call that drops. Nothing is worse than trying to text someone and you can't reach them because your phone is out of service range. And nothing is worse than supporting these major corporations and companies who don't support us. That is why I love Patriot Mobile. They are America's only Christian conservative wireless network. They use every cell tower out there available to all networks so that they have the greatest 4G and 5G coverage nationwide, and they support the causes that are important to us as conservatives. If you go today to patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump and use the promo code Trump, you will get free activation today. Again, that is patriotmobile.com/Lara Trump. The promo code is Trump for free activation so that you can get a great cell plan and feel good about doing it.